Have you ever noticed that you are often more obsessed with the person who makes you cry every night than the person who offers you consistent, boring peace? You are staring at your phone at 2 a.m. Your heart is racing. You are rereading a cold, distant text message from someone who barely gives you the minimum amount of attention. And yet, instead of walking away, you feel this overwhelming, desperate urge to make them stay, to show them your worth, to prove that you are good enough. You might have asked yourself, why am I doing this? Why do I love the person who hurts me the most? It is not because you are foolish. It is not because you are weak. And it is definitely not because you enjoy the pain. There is a deeply wired, scientific reason why your brain actively chooses the person who starves you of affection. And it has absolutely nothing to do with them. It started long before you ever met them. It started when you were a child. There is a feeling that nobody really talks about. The exhausting, invisible cycle of shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's life. You know the feeling. The way you analyze every single word they say, trying to find a hidden meaning. The way you suppress your own needs, pretending you don't care, just so you don't seem too needy. The way you twist your own personality into whatever shape you think they will accept, just to earn a single crumb of their approval. When they pull away, you feel a panic that is so intense, it feels like you are fighting for your life. And when they finally give you a little bit of attention, just a text or a brief moment of warmth, the relief is intoxicating. I have found that some of the smartest, most successful, most independent people do this quietly behind closed doors. But psychology tells us something completely different. In many cases, it is not low self-esteem. It is a security system that your brain built when you were very young. Your brain is not trying to torture you. It is actually trying to solve a puzzle. An impossible puzzle that was handed to you when you were a child. We generally believe that human beings seek out relationships that make them happy. That is the conventional wisdom, right? We want love, peace, and joy, but your unconscious brain doesn't care about your happiness. Your unconscious brain only cares about what is familiar. Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis, observed a strange phenomenon in his patients. They kept putting themselves in the exact same painful situations, over and over again, even when they knew it would hurt them. He called this repetition compulsion. What does this mean for you? If you grew up with a parent whose love was unpredictable, maybe they were emotionally distant, highly critical, always working, or completely unavailable. Your young, developing brain recorded that environment as the baseline for love. To a child, love equals survival. If the love you received was inconsistent, your brain wired itself to believe, love is something I must fight for. Love is something that is always on the verge of leaving me. So, when you become an adult, your brain scans the room. If it finds someone who is stable, secure, and ready to love you easily, your brain feels nothing. It feels boring. There is no challenge. There is no anxiety. And without anxiety, your brain thinks this cannot be love. But when you meet someone who is emotionally unavailable, someone who is hot and cold, someone who makes you feel slightly insecure, your brain lights up. You are not dating your partner. You are trying to stage a psychological do-over. You are subconsciously bringing the ghost of your parent into your relationship, hoping that this time, if you are just perfect enough, if you just try hard enough, this unavailable person will finally choose you. You are trying to win the love you never got as a child. That intense, magnetic spark you feel with someone who is bad for you. It is not a soulmate connection. It is trauma recognition. But why does it hurt so much? Why does their silence feel like a physical wound? This brings us to the second piece of the puzzle, the validation wound. When you are a child, you don't know who you are. You discover your identity through the reaction of your caregivers. Psychology calls this mirroring. If a child falls down and cries and the parent says, "I know it hurts, I am right here," the child learns that their feelings are real and that they matter. But what happens if your emotions were constantly invalidated? What if every time you cried you were told, "Stop crying, it is not a big deal. Stop being so sensitive. You are overreacting"? When a child is consistently invalidated, a terrifying thing happens. The child does not stop loving the parent. The child stops trusting themselves. They learn a devastating lesson. My feelings are wrong. My reality is flawed. The only way I can exist, the only way I can be safe, is if I adapt to what other people want me to be. This creates a deep, invisible wound, a validation wound. Fast forward to adulthood. You don't just want love from your partner. You need them to act as a mirror to prove that you exist. You rely on their external validation to regulate your entire internal world. When your partner is unhappy, you feel like it is your fault. When they pull away, it doesn't just feel like a relationship problem. It feels like an annihilation of your self-worth. You keep trying to prove yourself to them, because if you can just get them to validate you, it will quiet the voice in your head that has been whispering since childhood. I am not enough. This deep-rooted need for validation is exactly why we fall into the most predictable and the most painful dynamic in modern dating. The anxious avoidant trap. If you have an anxious attachment style, meaning you fear abandonment and constantly seek reassurance, you will almost always find yourself deeply attracted to someone with an avoidant attachment style. Why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Because the avoidant partner, the person who values independence, who pulls away when things get too close, who builds walls to protect themselves, provides the exact environment your traumatized brain is looking for. When the avoidant partner pulls away, it triggers your repetition compulsion. Their distance gives you a familiar job to do, the job of proving your worth. And on the flip side, the avoidant partner is drawn to you because your constant pursuit validates their core belief that relationships are demanding and people will eventually suffocate me. You fit together perfectly like two broken puzzle pieces. The more you push for closeness, the more they pull away. The more they pull away, the harder you try to prove yourself. It is a dance of pain, and it is entirely subconscious. If an emotionally healthy, secure person came into your life right now and loved you unconditionally without making you fight for it, you wouldn't know what to do with it. Your nervous system is so used to fighting for love that peace feels like boredom. Calmness feels like a trap. Chaos. Chaos feels like home. So what does this mean for you? If your childhood wired your brain for chaos, if you are stuck in this anxious avoidant loop, are you doomed to repeat this cycle forever? Is your attachment style a life sentence? The answer is a resounding no. Developmental psychology has a beautiful concept. It is called earned security. Extensive research, including the famous Minnesota study of risk and adaptation from childhood to adulthood, has proven that your attachment style is not permanently fixed. You can be born into chaos. You can develop an anxious or avoidant attachment, and you can still rewrite the code of your brain to become securely attached. You can earn your security. But how? It does not happen by trying to fix your avoidant partner. It does not happen by finally proving yourself to the person who refuses to see you. Earned security happens through what psychologists call corrective emotional experiences. It requires you to step out of the familiar chaos and expose yourself to an unfamiliar peace. It means building a connection, whether it is with a therapist, a highly secure friend, or a new, secure partner where you take a risk. You express a need. You say, "I am feeling anxious right now." And instead of being met with distance or anger or invalidation, you are met with consistency. You are met with safety. Every time you experience a secure response to your vulnerability, a new neural pathway is formed in your brain. You literally rewire your nervous system to understand that you do not have to perform to be loved. So, the next time you feel that desperate, burning urge to prove yourself to someone who is pulling away, I want you to pause, take a deep breath, and recognize that the intense anxiety you are feeling is not love. It is a memory. Ask yourself, am I trying to win this person over? Or am I trying to rescue the unseen child inside of me? You do not need to prove your worth to anyone. Your existence is your proof. But here is the real question. Once you finally start healing, once you decide to walk away from the chaotic people and choose someone healthy, how do you handle the sudden, terrifying boredom of a secure relationship? Because when your brain is addicted to the roller coaster, walking on flat ground feels incredibly dangerous. How do you survive the peace without sabotaging it? That is exactly what we are going to explore in the next video.